Logic problems. Okay, so this is the final NVR question type, and actually it's not even much of a question type. It's basically problem solving questions that they'll give you, and they can come in really any format, so it's difficult to prepare for them. But what you can do is you can practice loads of different skills that they'll be testing you on, and I'll just run through some of them here. So let's have a quick look at the instructions. It says in this question type, this type of question differs from all other question types, like I just said. You get given a lot of written information, and basically you have to interpret and analyze it to find the answer. There is no set format or structure to this question. It usually involves people, animal, objects, values, amounts, times. So like you see here, this is like a timetable. It could have something very different, but a good strategy for this question is to transfer the written information into visual form. So what you can do is you can try and draw out all of this, and I think actually this is the question right here, and what it's recommending you to do is to draw it out in like a timetable format so you can understand it a bit better. And if that helps you and you have enough time to do that, you can definitely do that. But yeah, well, let's go and look into some examples straight away. So this one is 3 children, Samantha, Gab and Ray, all left school at 15:15, so that's 3:15, and then they walked home. So whenever you're looking at a question like this, especially when it's a big paragraph, you want to break it down into sections, like I do with whenever I'm reading instructions, you do the same thing to a question. So again, there's 3 children here. You can even draw them out. They're leaving at 3:15 and they're walking home. So Samantha arrived home first. So Samantha is first. Gab arrives 5 minutes later at 3:50. So actually from here, I know Gab is coming at 3:50, and I know he's 3 minutes later than Samantha. So I know Samantha is therefore 3:25. And it says it took Ray 10 minutes longer than Samantha to walk home. So I know that 10 minutes after Samantha got home, Ray got home as well. So that's 10, so 3:40, 3:35. And actually from there you've already got the answer from that, and you can see down here 3:35 is the right answer. But yeah, this is another format you can use. But really the thing you have to do here is break down these sentences. So yeah, let's have a very quick look. Yeah, so this is the format I was looking at really, and how I was answering this. But let's have a look at some of the practice now sections. So these are some pretty chunky questions. See if we can get through them. Start off with question 1. So in the finals of the school 200 meters race, there was 6 competitors, namely Abel, Benny, Kate, Daniel, Alicia, Fred. Okay, tons of names. I won't be able to remember all of them, but let's go on to reading it. So it says Fred finished after Benny. So Fred is definitely behind Benny, so I'm just writing these out as the names. But before Daniel, so we know Daniel was placed after Fred. He's slower than Fred basically. Abel finished second after Kate, so we know Kate is first, and we know Abel is second. So we've already got sort of a lineup in this. And then what else did it say? Alicia finished before Benny, who finished last. Okay, so before Benny, that means she is in front of Benny. So Alicia will go here, right? And there we've got the actual whole lineup. We've got first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and you got Daniel as the last. So that's our answer for the first one. So let's carry on to question 2. Out of 5 classmates, Ming, Neera, Opal, Parvin and Sam, Opal is taller than Neera. Okay, so again I'm just going to start putting this out as a list, and Opal is above her in height but shorter than Parvin and Ming. Okay, so Parvin and Ming are taller than them, but we don't know in what order. Though taller than Parvin is not the tallest. Hold on. Oh right, okay, so there's a full stop here. I made a mistake there. So he's shorter than Parvin, and then it carries on into a new sentence and says Ming is taller than Parvin but not the tallest. So Ming goes here, and then he asks who is the tallest. Well, it's not Ming, it's going to be whoever's left. If we have a look, it's only Sam that is left, so the answer is going to be Sam. Question 3. 6 friends A, B, C, D, E and F are sitting around a table in a restaurant, maintaining equal spaces between them. B is sitting between A and E. Okay, again, let's break it down. B is between A and E. Assuming this is probably a rounded table or something. Yeah, it says that here, round table. So A is at the left of B. Yep, cool. So that means E has to be somewhere on the right. D is sitting directly opposite to E. Okay, so D is probably going to be around here, but it is a rounded table. F is sitting next to D. Alright. At D's left, okay, that's right. So this is D's left. Who is sitting E and F? I'm assuming this is meant to say between, so I'll make sure that that's fixed. But who is sitting between E and F? Well, actually there's only one person who's missing here. I think that's C. So A, B, C, D, E, F, yeah. So it has to be C. And there you can see actually once you break down a massive paragraph like that, it actually gets really easy. Types aren't really that difficult if you're able to break down the information. So, question 4. School begins at 9:30. To get there on time, Abbas leaves home at 8:55. Okay. Bobby leaves home 10 minutes later than Daisy. Alright, okay. Let's start breaking it down again. So Abbas is leaving at 8:55. I'm gonna rub out everything else around here. Okay, Abbas is leaving at 8:55. Bobby is leaving 10 minutes later than Daisy. Bobby 10 minutes later than Daisy. So Daisy is leaving before. Daisy takes exactly 30 minutes to reach school. Evelyn starts 5 minutes later than Bobby. Okay, do we have any information on Bobby? Hold on, we know Bobby is 10 minutes later than Daisy, and Evelyn is 5 minutes later than Bobby. How many minutes does Evelyn take to reach school? Right. Let's try and break this down even further. This means if Bobby leaves home 10 minutes later than Daisy, and Daisy takes exactly 30 minutes to reach school, so this sentence right here is giving us the information as to when Daisy left. So if Daisy is leaving, basically Daisy is leaving at 9 o'clock because she's getting there on time. So if this is 9 o'clock, because it takes her 30 minutes to get there, and she's leaving at 9, Bobby is leaving at 9:10 because he's leaving 10 minutes later, and Evelyn is leaving 5 minutes later than Bobby, so that's going to be 9:15. And then you can figure out from there, if she's leaving at 9:15 and school begins at 9:30, how long does it take her to reach school is 15 minutes. And because there's no information here suggesting that any of these students are late, it actually says that all of these people are probably getting here on time. You can just make those assumptions. So I'll finish these off. Question 5. In the context for school house points, Blue House got twice as much points as Red House. Okay, so how I'm going to write this out, if we just rub out the previous section, the Blue House is basically twice as much as the Red House. Actually, I'll draw out in like an arrow, like that, so times 2. Red House lags by 20 points to the Yellow House. Okay, so the Red House is basically, if we do this, minus 20 from the Yellow. Yellow is obviously above it. Green House has 24 points more than the Yellow House, so this is going to be a similar thing. So green is 24 in front of the Yellow. Blue House won the contest, defeating Green House by 6 points. Okay, so hold on. So blue house won. That means I probably made a mistake here. Red house lagged behind. Okay, no, I haven't. So basically, blue house is in front of green by 6 points. How many points did the yellow house get? Okay, well, we know from this. Let's hold on. In the contest for schoolhouse points, blue house got twice as much as the red house. 20 points behind the yellow house. Green house got 24 more points. Oh, got 24 points more than the yellow house. Okay, so this is going to be a very difficult one because they haven't actually given us any of the points of the other houses. But what they have given us is two numbers. So we know the red house has to be basically half of what the blue house is. So we have to sort of test here different numbers that we can come up with that will actually suit this. So if we, for example, assume red got 20 points and blue got 40 points, well, that wouldn't work, because if you look at this, right, red is minus 20, minus 24, minus 6 away from blue, meaning the difference here has to be actually 6 plus 24, which is 30, plus 20, which is 50. So the difference between red and blue is 50. So it can't be 20 and 40, but what it can be is 50 and 100, because the difference here is plus 50, right? Meaning this is times 2 and this is plus 50, and that's the only way we can figure it out. Yeah, it's actually quite a difficult one, but you can notice that from this diagram that you've made down here, you'll be able to sort of figure out the difference or the distance between red and blue, and then also the fact that it's meant to be times 2. You can figure out what the points have to be. From here it's pretty simple actually, because now we know what blue is. All we have to do is count backwards until we get to yellow. So green is 6 less than blue, which gives you 94, and then 24 less than that is 70. So meaning yellow is on 70 points. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense, and that's why it's really important to draw these sort of diagrams to help you out. But let's carry on to question 6. A bus started from Abu Dhabi with some passengers. Okay, at the first stop 5 passengers got off. Alright, I'm going to start drawing this out again. So there's a bus, 5 people exit on the first stop. What else is that? Well, 8 passengers got on. Okay, so 8 get on. Alright. In the second stop, 9 passengers got off. Same thing, bus, 9 get off and 6 get on. At the third stop, 2 more passengers got off, but none got on. Okay, so 2 get off on this bus. Now there are 17 passengers remaining. With how many passengers did the bus start with, basically? Okay, so we know 17 is left off, and now all we have to do is work backwards up this sort of diagram tree that we've made up. And again, I think it's a lot easier to look at it like this than to look at the text and try and figure it out like that. You're much more likely to make a mistake there, but whichever you find easier. So from 17, 2 left, meaning at this point there's actually 19 people on the bus before the 2 people leave. And then if we calculate how many people are on the bus on the second stop, well, 9 left, meaning there were, for example, there were probably plus 9, so that'll be 28. That's full capacity though. 6 people actually got on it. So these people, if we take away the 6, you'll get 22. So there's 22 people on this bus when they first get to the stop. And now if you go back again, well, 8 people got on, so that gives you 16. But 5 people got off, so that gives you 21. 21, sorry. People getting off should give you 14, and 5 people getting on should give you 19. Before it got to stop 1, it had 19 people on it. And if we have a look at the thing, yeah, it started at Abu Dhabi and then got to the first stop. So between these two, obviously nothing changed. It was always still 19 passengers. So if it started off basically with 19 passengers. And that will be the answer.